Hello again, everyone. We are Gaming by Gaslight, and welcome back to Starbound for another mod showcase. So after our last showcase, where we took a look at Star Drive, I got a number of comments mentioning how there was another mod that did something similar that some people would also be interested in me doing sort of like a quick tutorial on to help figure out getting working, and that is Steambound, which, like I said, it does some similar things to Star Tech, but differently. The main difference is that where Star Tech kind of wires everything together, for Steambound, you actually have to wire everything with just plain, regular, old, heavy pipes, which you can craft over here. In fact, pipe, as you can see, just craft any old heavy pipe out of a copper bar, and you got that. And everything else with this mod can be crafted at the engineer's table, which would be your pipe inlet, pump, quarry, rotor, and spout. Everything of which is pretty simple to make, for the most part. And I've already created a basic little network here. Basically, everything that has a heavy pipe behind it will be connected to the whole pipe network. So this terminal here, which basically lets you access everything that's being stored in the network. As you can see, all these chests here, well, these chests don't actually have anything in them yet, but let's plop some generic items in there. And then, as you will see, if we scroll down, there you go, they are now part of the network because there are back walls behind them. If we plop this in there, we'll have that. Nope, that's not, where is that little thing? Sapling. Sapling. Did I did actually connect this, didn't I? It's not quite connected. That was our problem. Alright, so let's plop this down. And then we'll put a little bit of heavy pipe behind it, just to make sure that I've actually properly connected it this time. There we go. And if we look through here, sapling. Okay, there we go. Alright, so what does this do? This is an inlet pump. Basically, what this does is, wherever it is, you can click, or just insert items into it, and it'll immediately take it to, well, if you have it by default, it'll go to any, like, to the nearest chest. However, with this router over here, what you can basically do is set input and output. So, as you can see, you get like a whole diagram of the whole pipe network. This is our input right here, the little inlet pipe. So anything we put in here will end up in here. Now, just out of interest for testing, let's, well, actually, we've kind of already done this, haven't we? If I set the chest as an input, I presume, and so that we don't just make assumptions, let's actually test that. Wrong thing entirely. Oh boy. Alright, let's reset this. Let's see. Let's make the bottom chest the output. Excuse me, sir. What? Oh dear. Come on. Oh, okay. Alright, that's the problem. It's just there was a bit of lag going on, which is kind of bad, but, you know, these things happen. Alright. So let us set the middle chest as an input. Set input. And we'll set the bottom chest as an output. So if we put... Let's take a quick look at the contents of this particular chest. Let's take these generic items out. So if I put these in here, they will then immediately get put into the wooden crate. But basically, that's what the router does. It's just sort of a way to, if you have a complicated network, sort of manually set things. Incidentally, I click on this. Alright, so right now, you can only have one input and output, but I recall the mod creator saying something to the effect that they would like to, actually, we'll just keep that like that for now, so it'll just pipe everything into whatever's nearest. Anyway, moving on. Oh, wait, the mod creators said that they're looking at making multiple input-output, but that's not a feature of the mod just yet. Next up, of course, we have a pump. And if you put some coal into your pump, we'll put some here, What it'll basically do is it'll activate, and then it will trigger all of this, and as you can see, it goes in here. And clearly I've set something up not quite right, because I was expecting it to go into the spout here. I wonder if I route it up. My network has disappeared. Possibly because this is busy. Alright. Yeah. Alright, what I was expecting to happen was for this to pump up here and then pump back out. I'm gonna have to figure this... We're gonna have to play around with this one, because I want to actually figure out what I'm doing wrong here. Which, again, classic example of me not properly testing things before actually doing them. Alright, let's take this out. I mean, I put this in here. Alright. But my question is, why is it not... Let's see. I'm gonna pop this off and then put it back on, which should hopefully get us connected to our network again. Alright, so let's see here. If I set... I think I'm getting an idea here. Alright. So if I set this as input, and this is output. Alright. I mean, this is probably, again, not the entire, or not quite the intended effect here. Alright, but yeah. So I can set it up like that, which means... I wonder, then, if I put an inlet pipe in, like, just sat something like that down... let's see here. Pipe inlet. Oh dear, this is, too much. Oh god, it's gone. It's too late. What have I done? Okay, let's calm down here for a second. Alright, so, if I were to then do something crazy like this, and make a hideously messy pipe, like so. Alright. Let's fiddle with this. That's the whole point of this. This is for science, my friends. Alright, so if we do this, and then we do this, and then we put a light in here so that there's some actual visibility so we can see what's going on down there. Alright. Let's try this out. Alright. I don't think this is going to work quite the way I think it's going to work. Yeah, it's... Okay, never mind. That's not working quite the way I was imagining it might. Alright, so... You know what? Because I want to actually show off how to do this properly, I will cut away and I'll be right back. Okay. I may have got this a little mistaken in its functionality. I assumed that it would just sort of... Like, the spout would just automatically maneuver stuff, but it looks like more or less what is happening here is... Let's actually take this coal out. Shouldn't you stop functioning now that you have no coal? I'm not an expert. Anyway, but basically what it'll do is, if you put any water into the spout, it will spout it all the way up to the level of the spout by the looks of it. Alright, so moving on to other exciting things. If we put coal into the miner, what the miner will do over here, or quarry as it is called, it'll basically go back and forth and dig out every single square in the whole radius here. As you can see, it's going to eventually go down and blow out this light here. But basically, it'll just keep on going until it either hits a block or it runs out of coal. And then all its inventory will go into here. I assume if I played around with this a bit more, I would figure out how to get... Then again... Well, actually, this shows up, but the pump doesn't show up. So basically, if I put this as an input and this as an output, would the contents of this pipe Yeah, there we go. So now, basically, everything it mines is going into this chest. I think this might be where my issue's coming from here, is because for whatever reason, this pump... Actually, maybe if I pop it off and then just pop it back on, it'll show up as a valid input here. Oh, wait, I see what the problem is. Silly me. I didn't actually have it properly piped up. You see, that's why it's very important to make sure you're actually paying close attention to how you wire your pipe networks up. There we go. Now it's... Okay, now this would work the way I imagined it would, where basically pump pumps it out. This would be the input. Spout would be the output. All right. Okay, so we'll reset this. Let's try this again. Input. And actually, let's pop the spout off. Okay, now this is going to work the way I intended it to. All right. And that's what experimentation is for, my friends. All right, so we do this, and we pop in the fuel. All right, so now this will mine the water, which will then pump it out of the spout. At least that's what it should do. Hang on a second. All right. Input. Output. All right, there we go. Now it's working as I imagined it should. All right, very good. Well, it worked for a moment, but now it apparently decided to stop. Why did it decide to stop? Did I get something mixed up here where it's functioning into something else? Ah, that burned through a lot of coal fast. Where did all my my precious liquid go? And most importantly, why is it not... Alright, I'm going to assume that's a bug. That's okay, because we've got a quick look at how everything works, and hopefully that clarifies a little bit. Let's also time warp into daytime here so we can see better. Into a little... Or hopefully it clarifies a little bit on how the basic functionality of Steambound works. So, that's going to do it for this episode. So until the next time, as always, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video.